Welcome to the green room. I'm Bob Bledsoe. It's very early in the morning right now. I'm putting on my traveling hat. I'm waiting for Kent to get here, and as soon as he's here, we're hopping in the car and heading to Springville, Utah for the grand opening of Clint's Reptile Room. You might remember that I almost didn't let Kent go with me on this trip because of how useless he was at snake discovery, but I made a call to Clint, a bet was made. Here, actually, just watch the recap, and Kent and I are going to get on the road. Do you want to hear the secret about Clint's Reptile Room now?
Yeah. What is it?
I will be there in a couple weeks for Clint's grand opening, and I can probably get you an autograph.
Oh, I want to come.
No, Kent, I brought you to snake discovery, and you ended up standing in the parking lot the whole time.
Please, Bob.
I tell you what, later tonight, I'll call Clint and I'll ask him.
Thanks.
Is it your belief that you would be able to get Kent to hold a snake?
I think I can do it.
You know what? I will bet you $100 that you won't be able to get Kent to hold a snake.
I feel bad taking your money.
I don't think you'd be taking my money.
You're on.
All right, it's a bet.
Hey, Bob, do you think he'll say, well, hi there?
I don't know, maybe.
I bet he'll be wearing a tie.
It's likely, Kent, but you never know.
I wonder if he'll have any of those Halloween decoration animal skeletons. Those are pretty scary, but I think they're okay as long as they're not all over the place.
Kent, can you get in the car, please?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to get his autograph.
Thank you.
Kent was so excited. He fell asleep. He's been sleeping this whole drive. Cute little guy.
Okay. Here we are.
Oh man, I'm so freaking excited. This is just like if I were to meet 90s hip hop band TLC. Oh, do you think he'll sign my camera? I hope he signs my camera. Man, this is gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna go in and say hi to people. You pull yourself together and come in when you can act relatively normal.
Roger that, me capitone.
Clint!
Bob!
Oh my gosh, so good to see you.
It is so good to have you here.
My brother's in the car. He's extremely excited. He'll be in a minute.
Okay, did you bring your money?
Only so I could double it.
All I have to do is get him to hold the snake, right?
That's all you gotta do. Just get him to hold a snake and you'll earn $100. No problem. I'm gonna sit over here.
That sounds perfect.
Oh my gosh, Clint!
Kent!
I'm Kent!
I know.
My name is Kent. It's the same as yours almost, except for with a K instead of a C, and mine has a L in the middle. Will you send my camera?
I would be honored to send you a camera. Would you mind holding this for me?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, let's
Thanks. Oh, man.
Thank you. All right. Oh, wow. This is a nice camera. I haven't seen one like this in quite some time. Let's see.
He's signing my camera. You see this?
Kent, such a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, man.
I'm so glad you could be here.
Thanks.
Here, I'll
Nice to meet you too. Yeah. All right. Okay. See you later. Okay. Come on. Kent? Yeah? Look, I can't believe I'm saying this, but can you please go wait outside?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
There's snakes in here anyway, so it's a little bit creepy.
So here's the situation right now. We have a whole bunch of YouTubers making videos in one room, and it's a little noisy, but we're gonna try and do this. So here's the deal with Clint's Reptile Room. It, to me, looks like a cafe.
A lot of YouTubers making
And
videos.
so,
getting in
excuse
the
me.
way
Oh, I'm sorry, Garrett.
of the other
I apologize.
YouTubers.
This is
I could just
she's really
try to
kind of over. I'm sorry. Oh.
Thanks.
Sorry. Oh. Clint, I love all your leather-bound things. You've got luggage up there and books, and I would say it's exactly what a biologist lair should be. I'm considering this your lair. Not an evil lair.
No, that's what we wanted to be, though.
This place is amazing. The new renovation is incredible. I have Ruby here. on my arm. Ruby is the squeeziest snake I've ever seen. I don't think she's squeezing out of being nervous. I think she's just squeezy. But there is a circulation issue in my arm right now. I think I'll be fine. I'll probably be okay. But we're just having a nice time. We're all chatting. We're having some breakfast. I'm drinking juice. I'm gonna sit right here on this leather-bound couch. And then there's other... Look at Dave Kaufman.
It's a chair.
Oh, it is a chair. He's right. This is... Look, I'm not a furniture expert. I've never worked at a furniture store.
If this was a couch, then you and I could fit on it together.
Dave, we can fit on it.
We can.
Wait. Oh, jeez. Oh, look at our couch.
I want a pony, and I want a bicycle, and I want...
Dave, we can't do that on this video. You're terrible. It's a couch. It's definitely a couch. This is a couch, right, Amy?
Yes.
This is for sure a couch. Look, it's long. Multiple people can fit on it.
Like at least 4 or 5.
Right. And not in my lap or in your lap. Anyway, it's a very comfortable facility. Clint, what's one of these lizards that if I open their cage, they'll jump out onto my arm and hang out with me?
Emerald Tree Skinks.
Yeah? Right there?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, thanks. Let's try and do that, you guys. Let's see if this happens. I've never done it before. Oh, already. Look at that. Come on, that's really cool. Will Clint notice if I just walk out with him on my shoulder? Ooh, Clint's right there.
That's Peter.
This is Peter?
Uh-huh.
You can tell the difference?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, he just jumped right on here.
They're magical.
He's amazing.
This is how I steal your lizard back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're not walking out of here.
So, oh my gosh, come on. Did this take any work to get them like this, or do they come like this?
Both. This is not unusual behavior for them. When their enclosure was at the wrong height, they were a lot more reluctant to come out. How great is that?
Is he on my hat now?
Yeah.
And then as soon as we got the enclosure to a height they were happy with, they just became this. and honestly, a lot of it is not even, them changing. It's me understanding the things that they enjoy doing the most, and that allows me to get them to do what I would like for them to do. Because they're unhandleable. They only do what they want to do.
Sure, you're not going to reach in and grab them.
You can't. They will flee from you like crazy. They're unhandleable. The only reason you can interact with them is because they love interacting with people more than anything. I think people think I might have to work really hard to get those shots of them jumping out of the enclosure and hopping. No.
Yeah, I mean, he just did it.
This is just how they be.
So cool. Amy. Oh my gosh. Amy running the camera and handling lizards. It's great. So cool. Okay, Clint, I'll take him. Do we have a bag or a box?
There's no way you're taking them. But you should get some, and you should breed them.
They're awesome.
The world needs more of them.
For real. I did a video yesterday on this animal. This is an Asian water monitor, and the video was why it's the best pet animal at Clint's Reptile Room. Obviously, that was a joke. The whole video was a joke. It's not the best pet. Is it the best animal, though? Yeah, probably. This guy is super socialized by Kevin McCurley, and I just love him. He even got a little bit squirrely on me, and it was fine. He was okay. But I held him for a long time. We shot for a long time for that video yesterday, and then I put him back in here, and he crawled onto his rock and fell right to sleep. So let's take a look at his cage really quick. Here's his upper part, and this is the part that he seems to prefer. This is where I've seen him more often. But then he can come down this branch if he wants, crawling down here into this little section, past Gus's enclosed cage, and all the way down to the bottom of this. I'll take that. All the way down, so all the way down here and into the bottom. That whole bottom part is his cage, and then Gus is right in the middle. This boy doesn't have a name yet, but I'm advocating for naming him Kevin. Because what a great name for a monitor lizard. Plus, he came from Kevin. But I love this guy. Are they a good pet? Yeah, if you've got a massive setup and all the stuff that they need, this animal's gonna get way bigger than this. I think I said in the video that it gets the size of a Dalmatian. I promise you it'll get bigger than a Dalmatian. It's just the first dog that popped into my head, but they get huge. Right, buddy? You're gonna get huge. I fell in love with false water cobras at Snake Discovery, and Clint spent some time telling me about false water cobras. This is Shelby. 2 things about false water cobras. First of all, very smart, seeming to be very smart, and really aware of their surroundings and aware of what's going on. The most important feature about false water cobras to me is they look like superheroes. Look at his mask. He's like a superhero snake. Will you turn to the camera, please? Look at his mask. I'll just say this real fast for those. I think there's a lot of people who know false water cobras now. They are not cobras, but they are rear-fanged venomous. So if this snake were to bite you and chew on you and get to the rear fangs, you could have some reaction. But the venom in these snakes is not for you. It's for their prey. So the prey that they're getting, frogs and pretty much anything, but little rodents, stuff like that. It's for them, and that goes for all snakes. Every snake, the venom that they have in their teeth or in their venom glands is not for you. It's for their prey. So this snake is not going to kill you if it were to chew on you, but you might have a reaction to it. I do have a snake that seems similar, and that is Maya, my black-headed python. Seems very similar to a colubrid, which false water cobras are. Is that true? Dave, false water cobras, colubrids? Yeah. Dave says, yeah. Hold on, let me check with someone else. Clint? False water cobras, colubrids? Yes. Clint says yes, authoritatively. Now they're talking about it. And Dave might be looking it up. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if they're colubrids. I think they are. Brian Cusco, what's your feeling on this? Colubrid? False water cobra?
I mean, there are other colubrids that are like rear fang venomous, so
Yeah.
I don't see why that couldn't be a thing. I'm not any kind of expert on speciation or anything like that, so
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be the person to ask for an official answer. But
Except I asked the 2 experts,
And they're not
say
sure.
in air quotes, and they don't know.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to the non-experts, which are you and I think they're colubrids.
yeah, well, I mean, these remind me a lot of like indigo snakes or crebo.
Yeah. I'm here with a northern emerald tree boa. This is what we were just finding just a few weeks ago in Suriname, and you're gonna get more videos from Suriname about these snakes, but we were finding them in the wild and working with them. I almost got bit right there, not even working with this snake. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But in the wild, I was working with them and we got to where we could handle them. I'm handling 2 at a time sometimes, and they trust me because I worked with them a little bit. So my feeling, and I mentioned this in another video, is that a lot of people think that northerns are super bitey because they have that reputation and most keepers don't work with them a lot. Now this animal being in Clint's room is not an animal that Clint is taking out and having other people handle. So this is another situation where this snake is not used to being handled, not used to sitting here with the door open, and so it definitely will strike. But if I were to spend the time working with this snake, as Richard Bilbo was just doing, Richard, you were yesterday working with this snake, right?
Absolutely.
And you spent some time. I just don't have time because I'm trying to film a video. But I had you out. You had him out,
Yes,
and he was doing just fine.
for probably an hour.
So what do you think of my theory? Because I don't keep these snakes. I've only worked with them in the wild at this point. What do you think of my theory that compared to basins, so my feeling is that northerns are maybe a little bit more bitey than basins, but if you work with them, they can calm down.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got several. Mine are about 14, 15 years old.
How long have you worked with emeralds?
In 14, 15 years.
Okay.
And mine are, for lack of a better phrase, puppy dog tame. I mean, they just, you literally can grab their heads and move them around and everything. They do not bite, and they're never defensive.
So the issue is that they're just like any other snake. If you work with them, they can tame down. The thing is that you are taking a little bit bigger of a risk working with a snake that could potentially bite you with an emerald than you are with a normal boa or python, because their teeth are a lot longer than another snake of this size. But it can be done.
Absolutely.
Right? And they're not going to send you to the hospital if you get bit.
No,
you know. Because you got bit yesterday. You did get bit yesterday.
I did get bit yesterday.
Yeah. So I will say this, when I'm talking about arboreal animals like the emerald tree boa or a green tree monitor, you can tame them down. You can handle them a little bit more and get them to trust you. But in general, arboreal animals are not ones that should be handled like a ball python. Like, I can reach in to my ball python's enclosure and grab them a couple times a day if I wanted to. I usually don't. But I think that arboreal animals should be handled less, but not at all. I mean, but not at all. Is that right? Double negative? Sure. Anyway, I don't know if this animal, this green tree monitor, is handled a lot or not, so I'm not going to mess with him. But they're beautiful, and I want one. I was just informed that he's not handleable at all, and if we get him out, he'll shoot up to the ceiling. So we're going to close his enclosure right now. Hey folks, it's time to go over the Patreon boards. I was just retaping one that fell off. This is such a silly way to do this each time, is to tape these up on the fence. But the whole point here is that these are the people that support the channel. They get a lot of perks. In fact, I'm mailing out a bunch of sticker packs and a bunch of Green Room Pythons t-shirts today to a lot of these people who are in certain tiers that get those. Oh man, I keep tripping over statues. These guys are too light. I gotta work on this board. I got some work to do on that board. And special thanks to Black Box Cages, Lane Labs, and Gray Family Snakes for their support of the channel as well. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled programming. This is Athena, and she came to Clint Reptile Room from Garrett. Reach Out Reptiles. Where'd Garrett go? He's over there. Anyway, this came from Garrett, and so here's the deal. People always wonder about size with superdwarfs, and they can be extremely variable. But this is a 5-year-old superdwarf. Now here's where the variability comes in. First of all, this snake is 50% Calatoa, which is pretty small locality. But the main part of the variability here is that this snake came from a parthenogenesis clutch. So her mother created this clutch without a father, which happens. It's very rare, but it happens with pythons sometimes. And when that happens, a lot of times the snakes come out smaller. So if I was trying to sell you on superdwarfs and I was like, look, this is a 5-year-old snake. This is as big as a 5-year-old superdwarf gets. That would not be accurate. There are factors here that make this snake this small. And there are snakes that could easily be this size at 5 years old. I hope that Echo and Stella are, because they're very small localities. But there's so many factors. I've also seen 5-year-old superdwarfs that are way bigger than this. So it's just hard to tell. Don't get yourself a superdwarf thinking that it's going to be this size. Garrett, what percentage of superdwarfs at 5 years old do you think are about this size in your experience in your room?
In my room?
Yeah.
Or like across the board?
Well, give me both. Give me both.
This one is a particularly small bloodline animal that Clint wanted to stay really small. Since then, he's been like, I actually want one that's kind of bigger.
Yeah.
So we've sent him a couple more. But
and also Partho.
It is a Partho, yeah. So, I would say if you're talking about the ones that carry that superdwarf label, for us, it's probably about half of them are about this size at 50%. But we also kind of know which ones are going to do that too. Most of the bloodlines we've worked with for quite a while.
Right.
If you broaden that to anything that's sold as a superdwarf, like I was just talking to someone on the phone the other day, they're like, oh yeah, I watched your videos and then I bought a superdwarf for the local reptile show. On you. Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Now, 100% of them will do that to you, though, Bob.
Yes, that's right. I thought that was sweat dripping down me. That's what I thought it was. I was like, wow, I'm really sweaty.
That sweat smells really bad, too. Look at her go.
Really?
The snakes are just fascinating. Look at how they use their muscles on their butt.
They really do, and there it goes.
Yep. And they don't even not appreciate it when you mess with their butt as
Hey, come on. I don't want her to stop, Jared. No. Oh, come on. That was you. If you didn't poke at her, she wouldn't have done that. Oh my God.
Guys, everybody, we got to thank Bob from Green Room Pythons.
Finish what you were saying.
Okay. So I had someone the other day that was like, at my local reptile show, I bought a superdwarf retic. I said, oh, cool, what bloodline is it? Who bred it? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, what do you know about it?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the guy said he thought it might be like 25% Jampea. So he's selling it as a superdwarf, but that doesn't qualify as a superdwarf, especially if he's like, I think it's this, I'm not really sure. So that's really where you have to watch out.
Here's my guess, and it could be wrong, but my guess is the percentages of just superdwarfs out there that are 5 years old at this size is like less than 25%.
Especially if you factor in what people call superdwarfs versus, or sell as superdwarfs versus others.
Sure.
But if you're talking about like legit, say, Calato, Amadu, Karumpa crosses at 5 years old that were, bred by breeders who are focusing on small size.
And not power fed.
Exactly. You're talking more about, I'd say 85, 90%. If you're going for a cross, you're selectively breeding down for size. So you need someone who's actually selective about it.
Right.
Not just like, oh, if I call this a dwarf or a super dwarf, I can charge a little more money. You want someone that's like intentionally trying to make it small and do their best. It's pretty easy to do, it just takes time. If you're getting them from good breeders, you can get a lot of them that are quite small.
They're small like this, yeah.
Cool. Especially if you get it from someone who cares that you end up with the right animal. You say, listen, I really need a snake. Like this snake is probably, 7 feet? And so I need a snake that's going to be 7 feet at 5 years old.
Right.
They can get you as close as they can.
And by the way, this is what a 7 foot super dwarf retic looks like. The thickness. People always think of what a 7 foot ball python would be, and that's massive.
Would be a monster.
This 7 foot retic, the only major problem with this snake is that she peed on me and pooped on me, and then Garrett made her wrap her tail around me.
I've been training her to do that her whole life. Thanks, buddy.
You guys remember Amy from Green Room Pythons fame. Because Amy's here, we're going to talk to her about her favorite animal in Clint's reptile room. Say who you made friends with yesterday.
This is Vinny. He's a Vinegaroon, and it is an arachnid.
He is super spider-like.
I'm so proud of myself.
Because you're not comfortable with spiders.
No, I hate spiders.
You thought that he was gross yesterday.
Yes.
And that's a fact. He is gross.
No.
But then you held him for hours. Like you had him all day.
I had him all day.
All right, I'm going to do this because you did it. Here's the thing. What I've learned about Vinegaroons is they're harmless. They're not going to hurt you with their pinchers.
Go on. Spray Bob with your vinegar. Go.
But they can spray you with vinegar, and I'm pretty sure they can put a curse on you. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can feel his feet. I can feel his feet on my hand. His feet are walking on my hand. He's like a little, look at, he's stamping on my hand. He's crawling on me. Here's the other interesting thing about Vinegaroons that I learned is those antennae that you're seeing, hopefully you can see these antennae, they're not antennae, they're legs. It's more legs for him to walk on your hand.
1, 2, 3!
So we're all having a great time at Clint's Reptile Room. I really appreciate Clint and Leisha for inviting me out here. It's been so fun. By the way, this room, I wouldn't call this a reptile zoo. I would call it more of a reptile experience. I think that's what Clint calls it. It's where people can come and interact with a ton of reptiles. At a zoo, you can't interact with them, and here you can. So it's really amazing. We're gonna go now and do some Nerf battle stuff, and I don't know what else is in store for us, but they've got our schedule packed. So this is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Kent, why did you hold that snake? I didn't hold a snake. As soon as you walked in, Clint handed you a snake. I think I would have noticed if someone handed me a snake. Oh, did you see how he signed my camera? You literally held a snake. Wait till you see the footage. I won't see the footage. Why not? Because I don't watch your videos. I feel like you owe me $100.